And Israel now has an all-new, first-of-its-kind advanced air defense system to respond to hypersonic or cruise missiles.
Forget jets soaring through space. What's really sending shockwaves is Israel's new Skysonic missile, designed to stop threats faster than ever. With the country facing missile shortages after a recent attack by Iran, this interceptor could be the game changer no one saw coming. But with tensions at an all-time high, will this new tech be enough to keep Israel's skies safe? Skysonic missile to the rescue. What happens when a nation built on defense finds itself short on one of its most critical resources? In a high-stakes announcement that could alter the balance of power in the Middle East, Israel recently unveiled its latest defense innovation, the Skysonic missile. This supersonic interceptor promises to counter threats that were previously thought unstoppable. But as impressive as this sounds, the timing of the announcement leaves much to question. Honestly, Iran's latest attack exposed a number of vulnerabilities in Israel's defense system. No wonder the Israeli military wasted no time in announcing this new missile. In fact, they are pretty confident that the Skysonic will truly deliver on its promises. Speaking of the launch, it took place at the prestigious Paris Air Show, with Israel's top military officials delivering a presentation that felt more like a call to arms. Their tone was somber, yet urgent. After all, Iran's recent barrage of missiles shattered the illusion of invincibility that Israel's defense systems had maintained for years. So yeah, it wasn't just about showcasing the missile's capabilities. It was a direct response to a rapidly deteriorating security situation. But what exactly happened? How did Israel, a nation known for its advanced missile defense systems, reach a point where a new interceptor was needed so desperately? The tipping point came in the wake of Iran's most recent offensive, a calculated attack that tested the limits of Israel's defense capabilities. In a span of just a few hours, Iran launched a wave of missiles aimed at critical infrastructure and densely populated areas. While Israel's Iron Dome and other systems managed to intercept many of these missiles, some slipped through, causing damage and sending a clear message. Israel's famed missile defenses were no longer enough. This wasn't just any attack. This was Iran flexing its capabilities, making it clear that they now possess the kind of firepower that could overwhelm Israel's defensive systems. For a country that has long prided itself on staying ahead of regional threats, the cracks in its defenses were an alarming reality check. The people of Israel, used to the comfort of the Iron Dome's protection, were left wondering just how secure they really were. Everyone was left thinking, if this is what Iran can do now, what will they unleash next? You see, the attack wasn't just a show of strength, it was a calculated psychological move. Iran knew that hitting Israel's weak spots could undermine its confidence and sow fear among its citizens. In the aftermath, whispers about Israel's lack of interceptor missiles began to surface, an unspoken secret that now threatened to become a national crisis. What's more, Israeli representatives also debuted an animated video of Skysonic that shows the missile shooting straight up, detaching its warhead mid-air, and speeding toward its target with its own booster. But who's the target, you ask? Of course, Iran and the attacks launched by its proxies in Palestine and Lebanon. Feeling confident after patching things up with Saudi Arabia and tightening military ties with Russia, Iran even unveiled its Fatah missile. But Israel's defense minister Yoav Gallant wasn't fazed. His response? We have an even better answer. But what exactly is Israel's secret weapon? Yep, it's the Skysonic. Now, Iran had previously made a bold claim about its hypersonic missile, the Fatah, meaning conqueror, boasting a range of 1,400 kilometers and the ability to smash through any anti-missile defense. And here's the interesting part: Mach 13 to 15 speeds, meaning 13 to 15 times faster than sound. But hold on, current tech usually supports hypersonic missiles flying at Mach 5, 8, so is Iran's claim stretching the truth? Maybe. You see, hypersonic missiles are a whole new beast. Fast, unpredictable, and deadly. These aren't your typical ballistic missiles. Hypersonic weapons can change course mid-flight. That means defending against them isn't just about speed. You need tech that can track, detect, and predict these missiles as they zip through the sky, all while staying one step ahead of their wild, unpredictable maneuvers. So yeah, the challenge of defending against hypersonic missiles is no easy task. Tracking them is tough. Imagine trying to keep your eye on something flying at 5 to 10 times the speed of sound. You'd need a sensor system that works together like a well-oiled machine, keeping a constant watch on the threat. And once you've tracked it, you need an interceptor that's quick enough to meet the target head-on with pinpoint accuracy. Oh, and did I mention it also needs to be insanely agile? Here's where it gets tricky. Traditional defense methods won't cut it. These missiles fly through thin air at near space speeds, where the atmosphere provides less aerodynamic force, making interception harder. The usual surface control methods won't provide enough control, so new systems need to be developed. Are we looking at the next frontier of defense tech? Can systems like SkySonic really handle this? To overcome the limitations of traditional missile control systems, a new approach, combining direct force with aerodynamic force, has emerged as the best solution for modern missile defense. This method not only boosts the interceptor's response time, but also enhances its precision and maneuverability. By fusing the two forces, the interceptor can react faster and hit harder, making it far more lethal against high-speed threats like hypersonic missiles. But here's the catch. Things get super complicated when you mix direct force jet flow with incoming supersonic flow. You've got shock waves, boundary layer interference, and all sorts of chaotic flow patterns. All that turbulence creates major interference with the missile's control, making computer simulations a headache to run and optimize. Is it even possible to fine-tune this tech fast enough to keep up with today's threats? There's hope, though. Cutting-edge materials are stepping up to the challenge. By combining continuous carbon fiber 3D printing with advanced processes like pyrolysis and liquid silicon infiltration, defense manufacturers can create cheaper, highly customizable parts for hypersonic missiles and UAVs. Not only does this reduce costs, but it also improves propulsion systems, potentially pushing the limits of what these weapons can do. As for missile guidance, for the last 50 years, proportional navigation, PN, has been the go-to strategy for guiding interceptors. But while PN is great for straightforward missile engagements, it relies heavily on precise estimates of the target's movements and how much time is left to intercept. Enter neoclassical guidance. It sidesteps some of these issues by not needing to estimate target acceleration, but it's not a perfect fix either. It needs a flawless dynamic model of the interceptor's flight control system and struggles when dual lateral controls are involved. Notice how these operational dynamics of the supersonic missiles are an absolute game changer. No wonder, Israel has been pretty confident with its SkySonic project. Is SkySonic the ultimate defense? You see, SkySonic isn't just a missile, it's a nightmare for anyone who dares challenge Israel. Built to intercept ballistic threats in the blink of an eye, this missile travels at breathtaking speeds that make evasion impossible. For Israel's enemies, this is the moment they've been dreading. From the second SkySonic is deployed, it strikes terror into the hearts of those watching. Imagine launching an attack, only to realize there's no escape. Your missile, carefully aimed, calculated for maximum destruction, is suddenly obliterated mid-flight by a weapon so advanced it feels like something out of science fiction. The SkySonic doesn't just stop threats, it annihilates them, leaving nothing behind but fragments in the sky. How do you fight an enemy that can destroy you before you even get close? That's the question Iran, Hezbollah, and other adversaries are now asking themselves. SkySonic forces them to reconsider their strategies, knowing that their most powerful weapons are no match for Israel's new defense. This isn't just a tool for protection, it's a psychological weapon too. SkySonic's mere existence shifts the balance of power, making adversaries hesitate before launching their next attack. With the SkySonic now revealed, the question on everyone's mind is simple. Is this the ultimate defense? Israel's announcement was filled with confidence, but the reality is that no weapon is infallible. There are still challenges ahead, questions of production speed, integration into existing defense systems, and, most importantly, whether SkySonic can perform as well in real conflict as it does on paper. But make no mistake, the fear that SkySonic has already instilled is real. Iran and other adversaries have been put on notice. Israel has unveiled its supersonic missile, and the region will never be the same. For now, Israel holds the upper hand, and the sight of SkySonic soaring through the sky will serve as a chilling reminder to anyone thinking of testing their luck. The construction of SkySonic is being handled by Rafael Advanced Defense Systems, which has a solid portfolio of delivering advanced military technology. And they are sure that this thing will be lightning fast and ridiculously agile, taking out hypersonic missiles like Iran's Fatah that fly at 10 times the speed of sound. Yeah, you heard that right, 10 times. But here's the question, why now? Hypersonic missile threats have been heating up over the years, forcing countries to up their game in national security. And Rafael, known for creating the legendary Iron Dome and the futuristic Iron Beam laser system, is stepping up once again to secure Israel. Can SkySonic really be the answer to this terrifying new threat? Seems so. Dr. Yuval Steinitz, the chairman of Rafael, says the international stage is more interested than ever in their defense systems. And with the world watching, Project SkySonic is their bold, innovative answer to hypersonic threats. Major General Yoav Har-Even, Rafael's CEO, is bringing the heat with some bold statements. Har-Even believes Rafael can do what seems impossible. They've done it before, and they're ready to do it again. Orders for their systems are smashing records, with a backlog of over 40 billion NIS. But here's the kicker, while Rafael is thriving as a global business powerhouse, it remains one of Israel's strongest pillars of national security. Brigadier General Pini Youngman, Rafael's executive VP and head of air defense, isn't pulling any punches either. He reminds us that Rafael's reputation as a global leader in air defense isn't just hype. It's been earned. From the Iron Dome to David's Sling and Spider, these systems have proven themselves where it matters, on the battlefield. But Youngman's not looking back. He's looking forward. Rafael is already working on the next generation of defense systems for tomorrow's threats. Speaking on interception of Iran's missiles, the company said that the challenge isn't just speed, it's about tracking and detecting these missiles in real time. That requires a finely tuned sensor system capable of locking onto the target at every twist and turn. To take down a hypersonic missile, you need more than brute force. It takes unmatched speed and agility, and here's where it gets interesting. This missile won't follow the usual, predictable path. Yet, the company remains tight-lipped about just how far this beast can reach. What secret technology are they keeping under wraps? While they keep anticipating us, one thing's for sure. SkySonic is the future of missile defense. It's set to protect not just Israel, but potentially countries worldwide. With Israel breaking records with $12.5 billion in defense exports, Rafael stands at the forefront, driving innovation in Israel's defense industry. But will this new weapon shake up the global arms race? They believe so, a race for missile defense innovation. When Iran unveiled its so-called hypersonic missile, Fatah, complete with dramatic images and a bold speech from President Ibrahim Raisi, it was clear Tehran wanted the world's attention. But in Israel, the reaction was far more skeptical. Defense experts aren't rushing to believe the hype. Is this missile really capable of what Iran claims, or is it just a glorified PR stunt? The truth might still be murky, but one thing's for sure: Israel isn't taking any chances. Instead, they're ramping up their development of the Skysonic missile system, ensuring they stay a step ahead, no matter the threat. Iran's media has wasted no time dissecting every angle of the Fatah missile, with pro-government outlets like Fars News and Tasnim News closely watching global reactions. They've even mocked Israel's so-called inaction and questioned whether the US THAAD system or Israel's Arrow defense could even handle this new missile. But is this back and forth just part of the usual Tehran-Jerusalem propaganda game? Israeli experts aren't dismissing the possibility that Iran's hypersonic threat might be real, but the real concern isn't the missile's speed. It's its maneuverability, something Iran has conveniently left vague. While the global focus on hypersonic missiles is clear, it's not all doom and gloom. Russia's use of hypersonics in Ukraine hasn't been the game-changer Moscow had hoped for. One of their missiles was even shot down by a Patriot defense system. But the Pacific paints a different picture, with China and North Korea working on hypersonic glide vehicles that fly at lower altitudes. The threat is evolving, and the US, alongside other Western countries, is scrambling to keep up. In this new war of supersonic and hypersonic weapons, Israel's Skysonic may just be the answer to the rising global threat. As you can guess, Skysonic was a direct answer to the rising threat of hypersonic missiles. Interestingly, this project was already in motion long before Iran's flashy Fatah missile was revealed, highlighting Israel's forward-thinking approach to defense technology. But let's be real. Does Iran's Fatah even pose the threat Tehran claims? The video showing off the missile raises eyebrows. Sure, it starts with real footage of the missile, but then suddenly switches to animation when it's supposed to leave the atmosphere. Suspicious, right? Where's the proof that Fatah is anything more than a headline-grabbing illusion? One of the most prominent skeptics is Amos Yadlin, former head of Israel's military intelligence and founder of Mind Israel. His take? Iran's bold declarations don't always match reality. There's a significant gap between what Iran says and what it can actually do, Yadlin pointed out. He emphasized how unlikely it is that Iran has managed to overcome the challenges that even the US is still grappling with in developing hypersonic weapons. He went so far as to suggest that when Iran says hypersonic, they're probably talking about the low end of the spectrum. Yadlin also highlighted that Iran tends to rush through its research and development processes, prioritizing propaganda over actual performance. Even major powers like the US, Russia, and China have had their share of failures with hypersonic technology. Russia's Kinzhal missile launches in Ukraine were largely unsuccessful, and the Patriot system recently intercepted missiles supposedly hypersonic, casting doubt on whether they even reached true hypersonic speeds. Uzi Rubin, the mastermind behind Israel's Missile Defense Organization and now a strategist at the Jerusalem Institute for Strategy and Security, wasn't exactly impressed with Iran's hypersonic missile spectacle. He pointed out that the data Iran shared in their video is sparse, like a high-budget movie trailer with little substance. Their deterrence comes through transparency, Rubin remarked, so they put it on display. But what did they really show? According to Rubin, it looks more like full-scale models and animated concepts rather than a fully operational missile. The idea behind Fatah may be sleek, but without real-world proof. How close is Iran to making it work? That's the million-dollar question. This isn't Iran's first claim of a hypersonic weapon either. Remember the Zulfikar? Iran hyped it up too, boasting of its atmospheric skipping re-entry vehicle. But Rubin noted a key difference. The Zulfikar's re-entry vehicle wasn't powered. Now, with the Fatah, they've added a small solid propellant motor, likely borrowed from their space program. Sounds impressive, but can it live up to the hype? While Iran puts on a show with dramatic missile unveilings, Israel remains focused on real-world defense solutions that work. So, will Iran's hypersonic missile ever see the light of day? Or is it just more smoke and mirrors? Even without SkySonic, Israel already boasts one of the most advanced multi-layered air defense systems in the world, with the Arrow system serving as its top-tier shield. Many experts have weighed in on the situation, highlighting that the Arrow 3 and upcoming Arrow 4 are capable of intercepting hypersonic missiles up to a point. If Iran truly has missiles that exceed that speed, which is doubtful, Israel may have to take a more aggressive approach. Think of preemptive strikes. But are Iran's claims even credible? Many military experts remain skeptical. On the other hand, many see some hope in Israel's existing defenses. They have explained that while hypersonic missiles re-enter the atmosphere at incredibly high speeds, friction causes them to slow down, giving air defense systems like Israel's a thermal signature to detect and intercept. In short, Iran's missiles might not be as untouchable as they claim. Uzi Rubin, too, expressed confidence, citing the Patriot system's success in downing Russia's hypersonic Kinzhal missile. If Germany is purchasing Israel's Arrow system, Rubin argues, it's because they believe it can handle hypersonic threats. We wouldn't see those purchases if we didn't have an answer to these kinds of missiles, he said. But make no mistake, this new breed of missile poses a challenge to all current defense systems, whether it's Israel's Arrow, the US's THAAD, or any new interceptors in development. It's a race against time to understand the true extent of this evolving threat. Yet, despite the hype surrounding Iran's Fateh missile, there's a silver lining. Inbar believes it's unlikely Iran will spread this missile technology the way it has with Shahed 136 drones to Russia. For now, the ball is in Iran's court. Will their hypersonic missile prove to be a real game-changer or just another announcement? Meanwhile, Israel keeps its defenses ready, with SkySonic waiting to counter anything Tehran throws its way. Is Iran's hypersonic missile truly a game-changer or just another bluff in the ongoing arms race? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button for more.